Okay, so one of the things you were looking to do is put a 4 kilometer grid between survey sites and successful sites. Now, I'm not quite sure I understand that question because a grid is an evenly spaced table of cells, really. And if you just buffered each of these by 4 kilometers, you kind of get a haphazard buffered image. So I'm just going to show you how to put a 4 kilometer grid on Bookemba. And it's pretty simple. You can use the processing tools to do that. So now the processing tools should be on, but if they aren't, you access them via the manage and install plugins, and then just go and look for the one that says processing. If you don't see it, search for it, and then turn it on. Okay? And you can access the actual processing tools via this little cog, or the, what would you call that? Little gear, or you go the same place, processing toolbox. Right. And we're going to search for grid, create a grid. Okay. So this one here under vector creation, create a grid. Alright. So the grid type, we're going to put, we want a polygon, so they're going to be rectangles. And now this is where we choose the grid extent. Now if I look, it's kind of yelling at me. It's telling me that it's going to want my values entered in degrees. So that's no good. So I'm going to close this down, change my coordinate reference system for the whole project to UTM zone south, apply that, close that. Now let's see, it's not shouting at me anymore. Okay, so by changing the project coordinate reference system, we were able to sort of get around this little issue that we were having here. Okay, so let's start again. Create a rectangle polygon, and now it's asking for a grid extent. So we want to tell the program the extent of the grid must be within these parameters or within this coordinate extent. So we're going to actually ask it, well, we're going to tell the program we're going to choose it on screen. So we're going to say select extent on canvas, and then we'll just draw a box like that. Okay, so then it's going to space it. Okay, so now in meters, we want to go 4,000 meters by 4,000 meters, and then if we just run it, we're going to create a temporary grid. You can go and create a permanent file if you want. Let's just run it and see what happens. And let's close that. Wow, okay. So it's actually created quite a few more than I needed. Let's make this slightly transparent so we can see what's happening underneath it. So we'll just chase this down to sort of like 50. You can sort of see what's going on. Right, so what we can do, let's edit this slightly. So we're going to start editing, and then we're going to select everything. Actually, no, let's not do that. We don't want that tool. Let's deselect. I think we can just click off somewhere else. And I want to turn on the advanced digitizing toolbar. So all I did is I just right clicked on my open space here and chose advanced digitizing toolbar. And then I'm just going to zoom in a little closer to our extent here and then turn off this processing toolbox just to give myself a little bit more space. Right, so now I'm going to choose the select features and I'm going to select all of them. And then I want to move it. And if you want to move features, you need to select the features you want to move, and then you just click on this little button here, and you just click anywhere and you can drag it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just drag it so that the edges of the area is kind of the same as Bookemba. And by the looks of things, we can then do is just trim off the ones which fall outside. So we could just do something like that. Alright, and we can save edits, so let's just stop editing, and then maybe I'll make this a permanent layer. So I'm going to click on make permanent, and then where is it? I need to go put it in my project file, so let's go stick it in projects, Bookemba. I think I've got a temporary, let's call it, it's working, so let's just call this grid 4 kilometers. And okay. And let's just have a look at what now I think the EPSG should be the same as a project EPSG. So let's just right click, go to properties, and then click on source, and then we'll see here, okay, the coordinate reference system is the same. It's UTM zone 35 south, which is EPSG 32735. Apply, okay. Okay. And that's grid. So yeah, based on your question, that's how you create a 4-kilometer grid. Whether or not that's what you're looking for, I don't know. So let me know how that goes, and if that did kind of answer that part of your question.